Good morning, Dingles Crypto. So the last day of 2020 is upon us. I'm wearing a suit. I'm wearing a watch because it's a good day. I'm going to end the year off looking, feeling good because we're pushing 2020 behind us. It's in the past. Whether you believe it was a great year or a bad year, one thing that we all can agree on is put things in perspective for you. What to be grateful for. I mean, no matter where you are in the world, I guarantee you found out what truly was important in life, and that is your family, your friends, and the community around you. So let's jump right into it, and hopefully as this next year progresses, we can continue to build the Dingle community, and hopefully we can fall on each other's shoulders a little bit. So let's jump right into the Bitcoin price, 28.9 currently. We broke 29,000 a day, so it was a pretty eventful day for a short period. It looks like we might break through it again. I do feel like a correction is almost guaranteed at this point. I mean, a correction is needed at this point, guys. We are overextended, but it is what it is. I'm not complaining. Just know the faster we go up, the faster we go down, guys. One thing I do want to point out, guys, very interesting, right? So today we are at $742, right, guys? And if we go back, oops, no, oh, come on, no. So if we go back in time, right? So we are at 742 right now, guys. 743, and if we go back to 2017 at the beginning of that bubble, or at the near the end, and we go to December 29th, ready, or 31st, sorry, and look at the price, 776, and then in just 2 short weeks we did 100% and went to 1450. So don't be surprised if we just zoom right up to 1500, bounce off it, and then try to break 1500 for a couple months. That could be very much on the cards, guys. But let's move on to some Chainlink. Not performing well. Won't spend much time on that today because, I mean, hopefully, best case scenario, it forms a bull flag and we break out. Polkadot, look at 50% this week, guys. I love Polkadot. I'm a big advocate. It's my 4th largest holding after Chainlink. But let's move into some news. Binance has delisted XRP from Binance, obviously. But it's just going to get delisted until it's deemed not a security. And if it is deemed a security, that is not good. And it's not coming back. It is done deal for XRP, guys. And so the SEC has been cracking down on crypto. So it's been running after XRP. Now it's filing a suit against Coinbase for selling unregistered securities. And also it has the U.S. Treasury is. Let me go back for a second because more stuff has been happening with the SEC against stable coins. And stable coins, they said, the SEC stated that stable coins can be deemed a security. Okay, so USDC is safe, DAI is safe, and Paxos might be safe, but all the rest, USDT is not safe. And if USDT will be deemed a security, and it will be pulled from all exchanges, guys. I'm predicting that far in advance, but it's so clear and obvious. USDT Tether will be deemed a security and delisted from all US exchanges. It's very easy to see. It's obvious, and I hope you understand that and don't. I only use DAI and USDC. I hedge risk with those two. Anyways, let's move on to the US Treasury is proposing crypto regulations that will force exchanges to collect, store, and share with the government personal information associated with crypto transaction. If you believe this is intrusion of your privacy, join us in sharing your concerns here. I shared my concerns, but if you want to, go share your concerns. I don't know how much help this really does, but also this is a big deal. So basically, when you do KYC, know your customer with Coinbase, and every crypto exchange, you tell them my my name is associated with this wallet address, right? And when you send money from that wallet address to a Ethereum, random Ethereum wallet, I have several random Ethereum wallets, then there you go. The government does not, they see that transaction and they see that you send it to this random wallet address, but they don't know if you possess that wallet address, guys. They don't know if you have possession over that money in that wallet address. So keep that in mind. Also, there's privacy protocols like Tornado Cash, and it's important that they just created a DAO because the developers could get shut down at any time, and there goes the developing of Tornado Cash and improving that protocol. So it's important. Privacy is important, and it will be on chain here shortly. Protocols, I mean, if there's a demand for it, it will be developed on the Ethereum blockchain. No questions asked. Now let's go into breaking news. Even though it's not really news, it's just a fun fact that you can tell your mom and dad. Breaking: Bitcoin is now larger than Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway by market cap. Bitcoin 552, Berkshire 538. So when your mom and your grandma comes up and says, hey, Bitcoin is volatile and speculative, well, guess what, grandma and mom? It has a bigger market cap than Berkshire Hathaway, guys. I mean, does that mean it's less risky? No, because Berkshire is diversified among a lot of stocks. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, do what you want with that information. It's kind of just a fun fact at some point. So, Michael Saylor, I like this a lot. It is impossible to properly pursue your corporate mission if you are investing your capital in a currency that is collapsing in value. He is talking about public companies, right? So public companies have cash on their balance sheet that's constantly devaluing in buying power, right? So it is your responsibility to retain value for your stockholders. And why would you hold currency that has the potential to lose 10% year over year for the next 5 years? They have printed 33% of their entire, so over the history of fiat, 33% of all fiat, which is US dollars, has been printed in 2020, guys. So that is crazy. And there will be, you already see inflation in asset prices. Trucks have been going up, cars have been going up, houses have been going up, Bitcoin has been going up, stock prices have been going up, assets, commodities have been going up, guys, because of inflation. Okay, here we go. Tom Lee, I don't know who he is, but he's talking.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Your forecast, do you wish you put out a higher number at this point?
This is quick, guys.
How much Bitcoin's risen in such a short amount of time?
Yeah. You know, that number, it actually came from David Grider, who's our digital asset strategist. But I think
you think David got fired? No.
In rounder numbers, 2021 is going to be a lot like 2017, which means Bitcoin should do even better in 2021 than it did in 2020. So something above 300%.
300%. I don't know how much Tom Lee knows about the future, but I agree with him. Because if you look back on the Bitcoin chart, obviously Bitcoin is cyclical. If you didn't know that, now you do. Bitcoin is cyclical. 2017, the Bitcoin halving happened in 2016, and then it ran a little bit, and then it had a big bubble in 2017. So we just had the Bitcoin halving in May of this year. So he expects another great year in 2021, and I also do. We might see a pullback, but if you hang in there, I think you'll be rewarded. So every bull run looks like a bubble until it becomes a tiny blip on the chart. Back to the Bitcoin chart. Ready? So this looked like it was a bubble, but now it's going to look like a tiny blip on the chart once we go to 100K. And if we go back in time, back in time, look at this. Okay, does that not look like a bubble too? We went from $100 to $1,000, guys. That's 10x. So 10x is a bubble, and that was back after the first halving, right? in 2012. So it's cyclical. If you didn't know that, now you do. Very simple. And this is a random guy on the internet, but he speaks for a lot of common people in the world. Why is Bitcoin so expensive? He sees Bitcoin as expensive. It is expensive, but soon he will, you know what's cheap right now though? Satoshis, right? Satoshis soon will be expensive. And if you don't know what a Satoshi is, it's just, so one Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis. And if you buy a fractional amount of Bitcoin, you are buying X amount of Satoshis. And that is what a Satoshi is. So let's go into some things to look back upon and also look forward upon for Dingle's cryptos in general. So just remember, we are descendants of winners. Our ancestors have always been winners. History has been crazy, but we are here now, so they were winners. They might have done some nasty stuff, but we are grateful to be here in the moment today, because life has never been better in history than it is today. So be grateful. The year has been crazy, but it put things in perspective. Your family, your friends, just had an hour-and-a-half conversation with my buddies from college. Have not talked to them in a year and a half. Great conversations, really grateful for that. And community. So right here, my senior year, I had a professor. It was my derivatives professor, and he said he was a very wealthy man. He worked in Chicago for several years at the CME, and he said it always seems the people that clinched their money the tightest ended up losing it, but the people that held their money in an open arm, in an open hand, always ended up with the thickest pockets, right? So don't be greedy. Understand. Be thankful and grateful for what you have, and give, and don't be selfish. That's the moral of the story. And somehow, some way, you will end up being more wealthy, whether that's through relationships or with actual money. So I will take that into 2021 with me. 2020 put things into perspective for me a lot, and I'm really grateful for that. So my goals and your goals for this channel, because we're going to create a great community, Dingle, let's say it together, Dingle, constantly post and increase quality of my channel. Obviously that's a fair goal, something I can do, and I hope you guys hold me to it. If I'm not improving, leave a dislike, but hopefully you leave a like on this video though. Create a positive community that supports ideas and not egos. So in today's world, a lot of people hear ideas and opinions and they throw them in the garbage. They're like, you're stupid. But no ideas or opinions are invalid for the most part. I take that back. No opinions or ideas are invalid. Take everybody's. Look at Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff his egos have been so immensely idiotic for years, and he could be much wealthier if he just listened and learned. That's what this channel is about, is learning together, and I hope we can do that successfully in 2021. So I'm going to create Dingle trucker hats, and I'm going to sell them at cost, and I'm going to sell them at cost because one of my friends, his name is Malbert. He's from the Philippines. He started a business here in the United States with his wife. His wife's a U.S. citizen. They have 2 kids, and they have been struggling because of COVID and because of the lockdowns. And he creates merch, and I'm going to get hats, and I'm going to sell them at cost. And they're going to be dope-ass hats. And I'm going to, whatever, if you want to buy them, I'm going to sell them at cost. No money to me, all money to him. And that is it. But lastly, shoot a sub and like this video. I really appreciate it. Let's conquer 2021 together. Very successful year coming up. I feel it in my bones. And lastly, 2 lastlies, because I wanted to show you this picture. So this, in 101 years ago, today, 11 a.m. Tuesday, 11th November 1919, a year after the Great War, World War I. This is in London. They had 2 minutes of silence Little did they know that in 2020 they would, and not in 2020, in 1920 they would face a horrific pandemic, the Spanish flu, and then they would experience a horrific market collapse, economic collapse in 1930, and then they would experience another horrific war in 1940, World War II. And look at these faces. They're normal humans. We are normal. Things could get a lot worse. Be grateful for what you have and be grateful for tomorrow and experience every day as if it's your last, and just be grateful for stuff, guys. No matter what comes in the future, we have each other, and I hope we don't forget that. Well, dingle dingle and peace out. See you next year.